subjects, a type E cranium,
for the first time ever, or something.
In that manner. Or shit, the guy's got pearl white teeth. Why does she go? To your point, his teeth are showing no signs of decay.
So I need to look at I have to extract to find out what's going on to make it seem violent or something.
Exactly.
She does kind of hurriedly run over a little bit. She walks up. She puts her hands on top of Brent, and she says, "Male, type E cranium, very unusual." At this point, she's only talking to a guerrilla soldier that's got them held by one of the nooses, one of the
restraints on his neck. Yeah. There's leather,
and so she kind of continues weak occipital development as she looks at she looks at Nova, Brent, substandard lobes, turns to Nova, female. One of the things that's in the script notes is that Zaius is confirmed with Ursus as an undertone off to the side.
I'm sorry, it's what?
Zaius is conferring with Ursus in an undertone.
Which they are framed in the back of the shot if you look back there.
I didn't realize Zaius was back there, too.
I didn't realize that was Zaius back there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I saw, is if you look back there, it's Ursus with Zaius sitting down, and they're having a meeting and talking. Now, Ursus is very uninvolved in the scene, but they're back there.
It says she dictates her observations to the female chimpanzee assistant, who did not follow her out there. As she does so, Zaius and Ursus, rising, stroll slowly towards the camera, which is when her dialogue is then heard, which makes sense for the next moment when Ursus is just kind of suddenly there.
Yeah, he does.
He came out of nowhere.
There's no provocation to get him into the scene. He's just thrust into it.
It's her saying, I want these research animals, and going, no, they're marked for target practice. Why?
There's like old
There
rules.
aren't any more humans you can shoot at?
Well, and there are old rules of drama about a character it's the same as we talked about before. That if you're going to use a gun in the third act of the film, you have to show that there are guns available in the first. Yep. Ursus is there, but he is very much framed in the sense that if you don't see him, you don't know how he ends up there. Because I swear that as I looked, I was like, oh, is that Ursus? Oh, that is Ursus in the background. You have to search for him. Why he isn't the first one in the very first of the scene that even a close-up of him says, put the new captures over here. Something like that. So he's there as he walks on.
Yeah.
Zira is still dictating the stuff about why these two people are unique. Obviously, as a viewer, we're realizing that she's trying to set up something to save them, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But she's not saying it to anybody that you think is going to have any power outside that she can take it from this particular guerrilla soldier. So the script notes has Zaius saying quietly, so be it. You know that my scruples were dictated by caution, not by cowardice. When the day comes, I shall ride with you. So there's some conversation you see happening between Zaius and Ursus, right? And then Zira kind of continues, it's been a long time since we've been able to study specimens of such extraordinary clinical interest, bring them inside, and that's when Ursus finally kind of walks into scene.
So,
right?
Yes. Did you have a point, or can I interject?
Go ahead, interject.
So, again, if this scene is constructed where it begins with Ursus saying something about bring them in, and then he steps off and we see that.
Correct.
Then we see Zira take control of it. You can add in an element of tension because we already know that she knows who Brent is. She wants to keep it away from Ursus. Instead of being so loud and, type E cranium, blah, blah, blah. If she walked over and she went quietly to that guard and said, oh, this is type E cranium. Could you bring him to me? Very quietly, trying to pull him away. Then Ursus could walk up and go, is there something you found interesting, doctor? And then call her on it so that once again, he's playing to what he did before where he admonished her not standing up.
Or even if she didn't even draw attention to Brent, if she had gone through all the people going, this one, this one's good. We need this one. This one, put on this. Brent, this is special. Brent is, this one goes this way and then keeps going down, and don't make him that much of the point of the investigation. I need to save him because of the... Save.
Right.
No, get rid of this one. No, that one. Save.
I agree.
So when Ursus moves into this moment, and I guess if you were watching the background, you would have seen him, but to be honest, if you're watching the film, you wouldn't have necessarily known that right away just because of that. He says, no, you can't have them. They're for target practice. Take them away.
Which again goes back to what you were talking about in the previous minute.
Now, you talked about tension. We had that entire moment where Zira did not stand during his speech.
Right.
And there was a really missed opportunity when he comes in the scene. His, no, you can't have them. They're for target practice. Take them away. Would have had a lot more power if the line had been delivered differently, if the situation had been played out a little bit more to where it felt like he was kind of taking back control of the fact that she had kind of protested earlier. And that's what I wanted from this moment when he walks in, why he's kind of pushing her aside and saying, no, they're for target practice. And I didn't get that moment. He's just kind of, they're for target practice.
And again, saying what I was saying with the, let's say not all humans are special. This one goes this one. That would work perfectly if, again, Zira's going down the line saying, save this one, get rid of this one, save this one. This one's special. He has an E cranium. And then all of a sudden, Ursus comes up and it's going down the line going, shoot, kill. And then comes up to Taylor and is like staring at him. Brent, and staring at him for a second. And then just kind of turns around to Zira and goes, no. These are for target practice.
Or hang on.
After she's already,
So, what if you've had the Ursus moment at the front where he, like I said, he introduces the scene. He then goes to talk to Zaius. When this occurs, why is Zaius following him? And as Zira tries to protect him, Zaius' eyes looks over and sees a blonde human and then looks to Zira, who we've now had the moment before where he's kind of lay low and maybe he sees blonde human, maybe just the looks, and then it's tight to his eyes. And suddenly we're saying something that he's aware that there's another human here. You can introduce so many
different ways,
points of tension that don't have to be the obvious point of tension. The obvious point of tension is we have to get him out of the situation. The unobvious, whatever. Is it inobvious? What it would be?
Unobvious.
The not obvious is let's play against that she didn't stand up. Let's play against that Zaius could figure out that there's somebody else. There are so many other things we could introduce that they just don't even take the time.
But when you get into in this minute, the fact that all of these humans are being moved into pens, she tries to stop two of them, and Ursus comes over and says, no, they're marked for target practice. And basically they're now whisked out of the situation. He is coming in to shut her down.
He is.
He's stopping where they're going to send them someplace else. It's just not, he's not even delivered as a line in such a way to make people believe that that's what's actually happening.
And even if he, because the joke is they're used for target practice. And as the father of somebody that is an archer, I can tell you a target is about as good as, once you tear it up.
Yeah.
So, what good is a human as target practice?
Yeah, once you hit them once, they're dead.
Yeah, that's not a target anymore.
Yeah.
And if anything, it should not even. I know why target practice is the finality, but we've just seen
them
all the training
using
drills.
All these other humans.
No, he should have stepped in and he shouldn't even singled out Brent. He should have said no.
All these are target.
All
practice.
of them are for my training.
Yeah.
And training would have said enough. We knew what they were doing.
To set these two out specifically, you can't say untargeted.
You're right.
But specifically, is weird.
We do get the moment of them being led away and Brent kind of glancing back at Zira in a wide and kind of now fighting against what's going on because he just came from outside. He's now inside. So I'll give him credit for giving him this moment like, oh shit.
Yeah.
This is about to get bad.
I know that no one's ever going to remake these films, and I know this is nothing but...
Wait, haven't they already remade these films?
Twice? I mean, actually remake this film.
Okay.
I don't want them touching the original, but this film begs for a remake because it's not a bad idea for a story.
A follow-up with new humans coming to what the old humans came through and trying to figure out something different?
Right. Well, so we've got the escalation of fear, which speaks to our times right now, and how you can take the simplest situations, turn it, and escalate that. So they could have a story about going beneath and showing me what happened to the humans. They could show me all these things. There's a good film begging to be made here if you just took the time and said... Star Wars, that whole video that we talked about before, how it's saved in the editing room. This could have been saved with a rewrite and an edit.
Well, yeah, this
could have been.
But technically, and I don't want to ruin things for Richard, because I'm not going to say things are going to ruin
about the future movies that I have not seen.
In the remakes, haven't they told you what happens to the humans? I mean, you already know that. But isn't that part of the remake?
But I'm not talking about what happened to the humans. I'm talking about remake a film where in the future we already know that the Planet of the Apes has occurred and somebody else comes looking for them. Remake that movie.
So you're saying after this new movie, after the latest one that came out, let's go 1,000 years ahead and find out what happens? Okay, that's what you want. Somehow maybe there was a space exploration that we sent out in the 60s, literally in the 60s of the new movies, that somehow is now looped around, been lost around a planet, somehow got screwed up, and now has come back. They think they're lost too, just like in the first Planet of the Apes movies, and they land back on the Earth of our new movies. That's 1,000, 10,000 years.
I'm actually lost right now, but yes.
But you know what I'm saying.
But yeah, all I'm saying is that, and I find this always fascinating with movies. When you see a bad movie, you find how you start looking at if they'd only done this, and this, it's now a good movie. If they'd done this, and this, it's a great movie. This movie is not horrible because the seeds are there for a wonderful idea and some themes that you could explore that are not even touched upon.
I'm still enjoying watching the movie unfold. I still want to know where it goes. I still like some of these characters. I mean, this is not a bad movie. Right. But when we break it down, again, we're like looking for these small things that just inconsistencies. It could have made it an amazing movie.
Especially you've got the rarity of rarities. Godfather 2, Empire Strikes Back. The sequels that are actually as good as, if not better than their original film. I'm not saying this could have touched on it because you're not going to have that Statue of Liberty moment. It could have been a worthy successor, but they just didn't think through. They didn't have the time.
They didn't. They were trying to rush something to market. Sequels weren't common. They were just trying to get something out there.
All right. So without spoiling anything, and I don't know this about the next 4 movies, I know this only about the first movie. There is a big twist at the end of it. Hey, we're on Earth. Are there twists at the end of all the movies?
Ooh, you need to wait and see.
I don't know.
I want to answer this and see if I can help you because here's what I don't want. I don't want you to have the M. Night Shyamalan
waiting for the twist.
Yeah.
Where's the twist?
So let me think.
My gosh, that ruined all of his movies.
It did.
Yeah, what you thought you were just sitting there waiting for the twist.
And that's unfair to his films because you should.
It's not necessarily about that.
Yeah. You should judge as a film on its own merits, not the merits that you bring with it.
You should judge it happening on the fact that it's a shitty movie. But anyways,
I'm going to say no. Not all of these films have a twist in it.
But don't tell me which one, so I'm fine.
No, I'm not. And what I'm trying to think through, because are there things that happen that you're like, oh, but that's a good movie.
But there's no, oh, we're on a different planet.
Right.
There's no, secretly the apes are really aliens from another planet or something like that.
No, it's not twist based always. Right. The twist is there in that first one, and there are dramatic moments, but it's not a twist based franchise.
Okay.
All right. I think with that conversation, we're at the end of
this one, yes.
So that is Mondays in the books. We will be back tomorrow. Until then, do what we always ask you to do. Go find us on your podcast service. Rate us, review us, let your friends know about us. Whatever you do, help us get more known because the more known we get, the more we can do for you. I am Todd. For Rich and Sean, have a great Monday.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Beneath the Minute of the Apes. Beneath the Minute of the Apes. Beneath the Minute of the Apes.
The only good human is a dead human.